Campbell Soup is denying claims about its products, allegedly made by an executive in a recorded conversation. The person in the recording is also heard belittling Campbell's customers during an expletive-filled rant.
We have that's for poor people. Who buys our I don't buy Campbell's products barely anymore. It's unhealthy. Now that I know what the in it, I can eat bioengineered meat. I don't want to eat a piece of chicken that came from a 3D printer.
The recording is allegedly from a conversation that's now part of a lawsuit filed by Robert Garza, a cybersecurity analyst for Campbell's, who claims he was fired after reporting the alleged remarks, which he says also included racist comments about company employees. Garza claims Campbell executive Martin Bally made those comments after the two met to discuss Garza's salary. In a statement, Garza's attorney saying, "This situation has been very hard on Robert. He thought Campbell's would be thankful that he reported Martin's behavior, but instead, he was abruptly fired." Campbell's responding, saying, "If the comments were in fact made, they are unacceptable. They do not reflect our values and the culture of our company." And going on to say, "The comments heard on the recording about our food are not only inaccurate, they are patently absurd."
Nothing melts away the cold like a delicious hot bowl of Campbell's soup.
Campbell saying, "The chicken meat used in our soups comes from long-trusted, USDA-approved U.S. suppliers and meets our high-quality standards." And the company noting, Bally worked in IT and had nothing to do with food production. Bally is on leave, pending a company investigation. In the meantime, the Attorney General in Florida, a state that bans lab-grown meat, says his office is now investigating Campbell's products. We reached out to Martin Bally, but did not hear back. Campbell says it has not been able to verify the recording.
Former employee who's suing the company says he secretly recorded Campbell's VP and Chief Information Security Officer Martin Bally during what that worker describes as an hour-long tirade.
We have shit for poor people. Who buys our shit? It's unhealthy. Now that I know what the in it, even in a can of soup, I look at it, look at meat, bioengineered meat. I don't want to eat a piece of chicken that came from a 3D printer.
So not only does he talk about the food, but this lawsuit also alleges that this VP went on to talk about employees at the company, and the lawsuit alleges that they're racist comments. Apparently, the former employee reported all of this to his manager. He says that some time went on and he wasn't encouraged to go to HR, and so he got fired. And what he's saying now is that he believes his firing was retaliation for him coming forward and speaking out about all of it.
Campbell's Soup Company is facing a lawsuit after a senior executive allegedly mocked the company's products, employees, and customers on a recorded tirade. Security analyst Robert Garza alleges that he was fired after reporting the inappropriate conduct and is suing for hostile work environment and retaliation. The claims stem from a recorded meeting between Garza and the Chief Information Security Officer and Vice President, Martin Bally. Garza believed that they would be discussing his salary, but instead he claims Bally went on a crazy tirade, trashing the company's products, customers, and making racially offensive comments about their Indian colleagues. Local 4 News in Detroit broadcast some of the recording where Bally is heard saying, "We have, for poor people, who buys our, it's not healthy now that I know what the is in it." And he also made comments regarding bioengineered meat, saying, "I don't want to eat a piece of chicken that came from a 3D printer." According to legal documents obtained by TMZ, Garza was terminated on January 30th, 2025, which is just about 20 days after he initially raised his concerns. The Runyon Law Group is defending the plaintiff, and Zachary Runyon said Garza had no record of disciplinary action and had not been written up prior for performance issues. A spokesperson for the company told Newsweek if the recording is legitimate, the comments are unacceptable. They do not reflect our values and the culture of our company. Mr. Bally is temporarily on leave while we conduct an investigation.
Campbell's is defending their soup amidst a lawsuit. That lawsuit was filed by Robert Garza, a cybersecurity analyst for Campbell's, who claims he was fired after reporting alleged remarks made by a Campbell's executive and recorded. In those remarks, the person says, quote, "We have expletive that's for poor people. Who buys our expletive? I don't buy expletive products barely anymore. It's unhealthy now that I know what the expletive in it. You can eat bioengineered meat. I don't want to eat an expletive piece of chicken that came from a 3D printer." Campbell says, quote, "The chicken meat used in our soups come from long-trusted USDA-approved U.S. suppliers and meets our high-quality standards." The Office of the Attorney General in Florida is now investigating Campbell's products. Campbell says it has not been able to verify the recording.
Campbell's has responded, and I'm not quite sure that I appreciate their tone. Let's get into it and y'all let me. So this will round out me talking about Campbell's, the Campbell Soup Company. I've already made my decision based on the audio that's floating around. If you haven't heard the audio, let me find it and insert it right here.
We have that's for poor people. Who buys our I don't buy Campbell's products barely anymore. It's unhealthy. Now that I know what the in it, you can eat bioengineered meat. I don't want to eat a piece of chicken that came from a 3D printer.
Campbell's.
Good.
And you know, Campbell's noodle soup, listen, you and your chicken cubes can hit the road, okay? Because I can make my own chicken noodle soup and have a soda on the side at the house, okay? Listen, because what you feeling like? Listen, first of all, it was already sus anyway, those little chicken cubes, because why chicken is in the form of a cube in the damn ways. Talking about some chicken noodle soup is for poor people, listen, okay? You finna get a taste of what it's like about to be poor, okay? I hope that your stocks tank so bad that you won't have 2 pennies left to rub together. I wouldn't even pay a penny for your thoughts. Let's be honest anyways, Campbell's noodle soup, listen, you and those chicken cubes, it was mad salty anyways, okay? You eat 1 can of noodle soup, listen, you is 1 can away from hypertension, okay? Listen, if I ever get a sniffle or a little tickle in my throat, you ain't gotta worry about me grabbing a can of chicken noodle soup, okay? Because you and those cubes can hit the road, Jack. And for real, those chicken cubes wasn't even all that, okay? Let's be for real, okay? We was doing y'all a favor because honestly, I wouldn't even feed those chicken cubes to a stray cat in an alley.
Products barely anymore. It's unhealthy. Now that I know what the in it, even in a can of soup, I look at it, look at meat, bioengineered meat. I don't want to eat a piece of chicken that came from a 3D printer. You?
Oh, hey, Martin, when Campbell's Soup said just add hot water, I don't think this is what they meant. So the recording that you just heard was allegedly made by this guy, Martin Bally, who is the vice president and chief information security officer at Campbell's Soup. He was also allegedly caught saying things like Campbell's Soup is for poor people and then making racist and disparaging remarks against Indian employees. Like, this is Campbell's Soup. Campbell's Soup is supposed to be one of those like wholesome American companies, something that you buy, you know, when your kids are at home sick. But instead, one of their executives is caught allegedly talking shit about the products, talking shit about the customers, talking shit about the employees. Comfort food, not so much, I guess. And the reason we know any of this information is because of this guy, Robert Garza, who said that he was having a meeting with this guy and he went on this like hour-long rant about how shit the company is and how he hates basically their customers and their employees. So he reports it. He says, hey, you know, this is happening with this guy, you know, Martin Bally. And like 3 weeks later, he gets fired with no write-ups, no nothing. They're just like, yeah, you gotta go. He's like, fuck you guys, I'm gonna file a lawsuit. And that's exactly what he did. And granted, this guy is in securities. He's not in like, you know, recipe development or like food science or anything like that. But I don't know, for me, if an executive is speaking this way about the company they work for, it makes me very wary. It makes me very cautious and rethink, you know, possibly buying products made by the company. But I guess we'll see how the lawsuit and, you know, the investigation goes.
Campbell's products barely anymore. It's unhealthy. Now that I know what the in it, even in a can of soup.
Campbell's Soup vice president just said that their soups have 3D printed meat in them. He was also caught on recording saying that Campbell's products are for poor people and that he won't eat them because he knows that they are unhealthy with the bioengineered meat in them.
Bioengineered meat. I don't want to eat a piece of chicken that came from a 3D printer.
This was all caught on audio recording by an employee named Robert Garza of Michigan. Garza filed a lawsuit against Campbell's on Thursday and released audio he says features Vice President and Chief Information Security Officer Martin Bally. A Campbell's Soup Company spokesperson released a statement that said, "We are proud of the food we make, the people who make it, and the high-quality ingredients we use." The comments on the recording are not only inaccurate, they are patently absurd. Keep in mind the alleged comments are made by an IT person who has nothing to do with how we make our food. If the recordings are legitimate, the comments are unacceptable and they do not reflect our values and the culture of our company. Mr. Bally is temporarily on leave while we conduct our investigation.
Campbell's Soup is now denying claims being made on that recording. They said they cannot confirm if the voice in the audio actually belongs to the executive. Martin Valley. Meanwhile, the viral recording shows someone insulting Campbell's customer, saying some really disgusting things, and even making racist comments about employees. That recording is connected to a lawsuit from Robert Gasser, a cybersecurity analyst who says he was fired after reporting those comments. Gasser claims Martin made those comments after the two met to talk about Gasser's salary. Campbell says their chicken meat comes from trusted USDA approved supplier. They also said the man in question, Bali, works in IT, not food production, meaning he should have no power or knowledge to speak about what goes in the food. Campbell also announced that Bali has been placed on leave while they investigate. Campbell's response feels a little too clean, a little too scripted, and honestly, a little too cold. If the voice in the recording isn't your executive, say it with your full chest. If it is, then own it and fix it. Instead, they are trying to distance themselves by saying he works in IT. Okay, cool, but that doesn't erase the racist comments, the insults towards customers, or the disrespect towards working class people. And let's be real, people are angry because the comments sounded exactly like what people in power say behind closed doors. What is worse, a whole lawsuit is behind this. Somebody said they were fired after reporting this behavior. That's serious. So tell me guys, what do you think? Do you believe Campbell's? Do you think they are downplaying this? Have you heard the audio? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Please make sure you subscribe, like, and share this video with somebody who needs to see it. Stay real, stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.